The economy is really not doing very well right now in Southern Nevada. Visitor volume is basically flat. We had 8,000 rooms added in the fourth quarter of 2009 with the city center opening, and that's just made for a very competitive environment on the Strip, so some of the properties in trouble. We know that City Center posted a $200 million first quarter loss, and that really just reflects a lot of competition on the Strip, lower occupancy rates, and lower room rates. Now, the other big sector of our economy that was pushing us into our massive growth that we had in 2000 to 2007 was construction. Well, in the last year, we've lost 21,000 construction jobs. In the last 6 months, we've lost over 11,000. So things are just not looking great right now in Southern Nevada. Now, to say what's going to do well next year, it really depends so much on what happens with the national economy. Now, right now, there's evidence the national economy is in a recovery. We had 3 quarters of growth in GDP in the United States, but lately, it looks like we're losing traction with that recovery, and we're a little bit concerned about a double-dip recession. We've had the tax cuts that happened in the first quarter of 2010, and we're a little suspicious that some of the consumption growth that we've seen is attributable to those tax cuts. And if it's the tax cuts that spurred that growth, then it's not going to happen in the next quarters. So we really need to watch out down the road for a double-dip recession. Now, assuming the U.S. economy continues to grow, we want to see some sort of turnaround for Southern Nevada in 2011. So some growth in gaming revenue, some growth in visitor volume. At the same time, this growth is going to be from a very low bottom that we're at right now. So it's going to be many years before we see the kind of economic activity that we saw in 2007. This is the time to look to the future and start thinking about how we spend intelligently, and invest. And for example, our public education system and our universities, this is not the time to cut these. We need these to advance us into the future so that we can attract some of these manufacturing firms, and we have a highly skilled workforce. We need to think to that and think to diversification now, rather than cutting back and just staying in this deep economic depth that we've dug for ourselves. But it's really important when you're in a recession to be able to help spend your way out of it. We know through history that this actually works. This isn't a structural component of the deficit. We're spending our way out. Our economy's losing traction. We should think seriously about a second small stimulus that's aimed really at employment, and that could help many cities in the country, including Las Vegas, if we had some sort of subsidies for new employment and payroll tax cuts. That could be very helpful.